This is Gypsy. She's the one that had the 4 puppies about 12 days ago now. As you can see, she's panting heavily. She's shaking. She actually has eclampsia. In humans, mums have pre-eclampsia. In dogs, they have post-eclampsia, where the puppies drain too much calcium from their mum. So yeah, I've given her some calcium syrup, spoken to the vet. We're going to wait 2 hours, see what she does. If she's no better, I'll take her in for a calcium drip. We'll just see how she goes. Hey, little Gyps. She's a bit distressed, but I'm just trying to keep her calm, lying here on my lap. It's all right, baby. I know, it's all right. It's all right. You're okay. It's just a matter of waiting for that calcium syrup to get into her system. It's only been half an hour, so I'll give it an hour and see how she goes. Hopefully it'll work, otherwise we'll have to go into the vet for a calcium drip. Hey, baby. Yeah. All right. You're okay. It's okay. It's okay. Lie down. It's okay. Here we go. It's okay. You can see her legs shaking there. So if you don't catch this quick enough, they can have seizures, and it can be fatal. So I just have to watch her really carefully. G'day guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another pull. Today I've still got these molten metal metallics left over from that swipe that I did yesterday. So I'm going to use them again because, hey, what else am I going to do with them? I have changed the silver out because I couldn't even see the silver with the grey background. And I have put in this one instead, aged bronze. That's that one there. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because it's kind of a greeny, goldy colour, but I'll see how it goes. And actually I'll start and then I can talk to you while I'm going. I'm just going to put my gloves on, and I don't know which are the top, it doesn't matter. I'm going to paint the background. I've made the background a little bit thicker than I did yesterday. So yesterday's was a 4:1 ratio, 4 parts Floetrol to 1 part Montmartre paint. Today I've got 3:1. And I did 180 grams of the Floetrol to a third, which is 60 grams. That's one part paint, to 3 parts Floetrol, 180 to 60 in grams. If you want to know what it is in ounces, just divide it by 30. It'll be close enough. All right, so that's that. I'm just going to use this to spread it. Now, what was I saying to you? Oh, yes. Yesterday I did the swipe and I used these little paint chip cards to swipe with. Today I am going to spread my little wings and go with a damp paper towel. See how we go with that. I think it will give a more sort of blended look, if you can call it that. When I swipe with the little plastic or the cards, I get more of a, oh, spilling into my black, I get more of a wispy look. So I'm going to do the damp paper towel and just see how I go with that one, okay? So there's plenty of paint here because I do need to, I can't get my arm in there, I need to get over the sides. So let me get rid of that. And I better move these back a little bit so I don't get those in the way because I've already spilt in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tilt get that paint moving. So if you've got enough paint on here, it's easy enough to tilt. See how there's that wave there happening? I'll just take it down, go over the edge, and then I can use my little finger there just to smooth that over. feel free to fast forward this bit. I put you on pause and did that yesterday, but I guess I could do it again, hey? You don't need to watch me do this, do you? I don't know. Look, it's almost done. It's almost done. Another minute or two. Right, let's take the paint down. So by doing this, by tilting, it just means that you get rid of, see that wavy part there? Just means that you can get rid of all of those so that you've got a really nice, smooth background to work with. Otherwise, you might end up with sort of some areas that are thick and some areas that are thin. Let's tip it the other way. Oh, there's a bit I missed. I'll turn it around so that you can see that other side being done. You can see where the wave is of paint moving down. So just wait for it to happen. And then you can either use your finger or your little tool or whatever it is you want to use to get your sides covered. Is that it? Am I done? So I'll move the paint down here a little bit. So some people like to see the whole process, like how I cover these. Usually, you know, I'd fast forward it, but might as well just show you today, hey? Okay, so that's done. You can pick up some bits of paint, you know, that you've dropped in here. If you need some to cover some of your edges, you can just use that. Oopsie, now I've made a fingerprints in there now, so that's the problem. You're better off just tilting it, getting it to cover nicely, and then just leave it alone. All right, that is done. Let me just wipe my hands, and I'll show you the one that I did yesterday for those people that maybe didn't see that video yesterday. The one where I swiped with the card. So that's it there. It's dry around the very edges, but it's still very wet in the middle. Starting to get shimmery. All right, so I'll put that away, and then I'll get started on today's. Actually, I'm going to make some room for it while I'm here. Right. So I told you about my Floetrol for the base coat, 3:1, and then for the molten, I keep wanting to say molten lava, Chroma Molten Metals, the aged bronze, the copper, the Xanadu gold. I would have liked to use the paler gold, but I already had this made up. I had a lot of it made up. Actually, I threw some of it into the copper just to dull the copper down because it's quite orange. So I did that. Next time I'll use the paler gold. But yeah, I still had some left, so I thought I might as well use it. So those are 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. And then my black and white are the Artist Loft. And I've mixed those 2 to 1 as well. The black did have an extra splurge of Floetrol because it was a bit thicker. Right, so those are my colours. I've just cut up some paper towel into little, I cut it in half and then I cut it into thirds, my square of paper towel. So that's that. I've got my little spray gun there that I'm just going to spray the edge of the paper towel and use that to swipe with. I'll do it off camera over here on my table, I think, because we don't want that getting all wet. So again, same as last time, I'm going to off center them, similar to this sort of thing, but instead of just putting all the paint down the center and swiping up and swiping down, I'm going to zigzag. So there, that sort of thing, and swipe down and up with that. So sort of a zigzag swipe, hey? Is that what we can call it? I don't know. It's just a swipe. Rightio, so let's get going. Now I don't need a lot of paint, but I do want, you know, the paint to go that way and that way, all the different colors. So instead of just putting a line, I'm going to like zigzag the line so that we can get like multiple colors. So when I swipe, I might not get any of the copper there, but I will get it on this side. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to sort of ziggy zaggy it. Doesn't matter if you spill a little bit. So just kind of do that. The other two colors I'll just pop on the other side. A little bit of black. Black I found kind of took over yesterday. Actually might need a little bit more than that. A little bit more than that of the black. It's hard to know exactly how much you need until you start. Right, so those are the colours there. Let's give this a bit of a spray on the edge. It's a bit hard spraying with, you know, the bottle wants to stay upright and I'm tilting it, so it's a bit tricky. Okay, you get out of the way, hiccups. I don't usually swipe with paper towel, so it's floppy. Normally, you know, my plastic or my card will stay where I want it to stay, but this won't. So we're just going to have to put it in there and drag. Oops, I didn't go very straight, did I? So that might not have been, excuse me, might not have been enough colour. Still got that frog in my throat. Okay, so it's a totally different look. It's much more blended, so I think I'm going to have to add more paint if I want more colour showing through. Like a little bit thicker for the paint, I should say. Otherwise it's going to be quite a dull kind of a painting. Not too much black, it really takes over, as you can see. Right, let's try another one. And I guess the water on the paper towel might sort of make it blend a little bit as well. I don't know that I'll get much negative space because, you know, I'm taking the paper right down. Just like so. So that's better, hey? And then I'll just use that again. Like so. I mean, you can see the silver underneath. Look how dominant that black is there, hey? It is very dominant. Now it's got that little, actually that can stay there. I'll just make another one sort of about here. Must remember not to make them very wide because the piece of paper that I'm using is not as wide as my cards that I usually use. It's sort of, it's more narrow, so less paint, I guess. And must try not to drop paint back in there, eh? So just kind of ziggy-zagging everything. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, just do a straight line. But I'm just trying to get, if you can see what I mean, when I swipe that way, I'm going to get more of the copper that way and then more of the copper this way. Depends also where you lay your paper towel down too. It'll make a difference. Okay. Now, because I've got, that's the most area to cover, I'm going to go that way first. And then what's left, I'll just go that way because there's not very much distance that way. And I'll go right off the edge, and I don't mind if there's a little bit of the silver in the middle there. All right, let's go again. I'm really not used to using these floppy things. Whoops. Does it matter that I didn't go straight? Oh, I need to stand here in front of it rather than off to the side. I can't. I probably shouldn't have done that again. All right, let's go again. So you're getting a much different look to that last one. The last pour from yesterday, it's a much more blended, gentle kind of a look. It's not used much black at all. So if I use this much paint with my card, it would be much darker, much brighter. I don't know what it is about paper towel. It just blends everything more, doesn't it? Maybe it's because it's wet. It kind of drops down more so than I would usually do. I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Just put it wherever it wants to go because you can't control it. Kind of lifted it up a little bit early there to get that sort of more of a wispy look, so maybe I can try that again and see if that works. Hey, let's try one up here. Just change up the order of how I'm putting my paints down. Okay, I'm getting into a bit of a routine now, so hopefully it won't take me too long. A little bit slower doing it this way, but that bronze is shown through nicely there. I have to try and go straight. I can't go straight. So I'm using the one piece of paper towel and then I'm putting it over there and not using it again for the next one. Let's go kind of in the middle with this one. And I guess also if your base is thicker, you're going to pull more of it across. So you might have more of your base sort of blending in with your other colours. Right, another piece. Oh, see, I didn't mean to catch it there. Now I'm dragging more grey over the top because I caught it too far up. Oh dear. Let's go back in again. I'm really not very good at the paper towel swipe, I'm afraid. And again, how's it looking so far though? Do you like it, or do you prefer the other one that's got the more bold colours in it? A little bit of black, tiny bit of black, don't use too much black. What haven't I used? The gold. Yeah, the black really takes over. Okay, let's see if I can drop that halfway in. I've kind of made a point out of it like that to control where I drop it. That seems to work. I only want to get half of it, you see. With that one, it dropped into the grey. Oh, that's good. See how I lifted it up. As I got closer to the edge, I lifted it up. By the time I'm finished, I'll have worked this out. And then lift. The other thing with the paper towel I've noticed, because it's got these little like grooves in it, you get more of this look as if you've, you know, brought a fork through it or something like that. That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, by the time I get to the end, I'll be done with it. I'll know what to do. I like that one, that last one. I may actually put a bit of more paint in here and redo some of those ones. Just to get a little bit more colour up through that, because those are down the other end, they're looking a bit dull now, aren't they, in comparison? And my gold. Alrighty. So what do you think? Do you prefer this one, or do you prefer the other one which was more wispy and had more background showing? I'm finally getting the hang of it, off the edge there. Just took me half an hour. Let's go in here before my paint dries and see if I can actually go again. So I'm going metallic and then opaque and then metallic and then opaque. Oops, that's a lot of black. And then metallic. Okay, that's just how I've been layering them. I don't know whether anyone noticed or not, but that's kind of what I've been trying to do. All right, half in. And trying to wisp it off. We'll need to get that little bit there done. I wonder if I can tear this. It's not tearing very well. I'll just tear that so I can just get a little bit. And just catch that last little piece there that I missed. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Bit more colour and then wisping out into the background. Yeah, okay, so that's how we do it. Let's do this one here. I might get, I'll get a little skinny one in there next to that, I think. Then I'll go over a couple of them. So there's no right or wrong with this, you know, just layer your colours however you want, whatever you like. Just try not to drip back into here. It's my last piece of paper towel. I'm going to have to cut some more up. Okay, so again, the area that you want to cover, it's the most area to cover, go that way first, and I need to incorporate that little guy there. So half in, and then when I get down here, I'm going to kind of lift to get the wispiness off. Go back in and try and wisp that as well. Now this, because I haven't got much paper towel, I'm just going to hang on to this one, and or you can just sit there for a minute. I'm going to go over this one here. I'm boring you, am I? I'm going to sleep. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but I'm just experimenting and having a play. If you're anything like me, you watch YouTube videos sort of in the background while you're doing something else, like, you know, you're on Facebook, or you're I don't know, doing some work, or you're, you know, looking for things on Amazon. And this is, you're just sort of watching the YouTube video in the background, looking up occasionally. That's me anyway. That's how I do it. I don't know if you guys are the same. There's a little tiny bit there that's missed. How am I going to get that tiny bit? Tiny bit. If I can just use the corner of that. Yeah, that worked. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm definitely liking that darker. But then I also like that lighter one there. I think I might just, let's finish it and then see. I'm loving that gold. I think we need more gold down here. Look at that. So let's put the gold on the top. Let's redo this one, because this here, that's not much chop at all, is it? It's not that impressive. Putting the gold on top there. Tiny bit of black. Okay. Hang on, I have to cut up some more paper towel. Just bear with me. So it's just one of these squares, and then I'll cut it in half, like so, and then this half I'll just cut into three. So I've got like 3 little rectangles. There we go. 3 more pieces. Hopefully that's enough. Let's wet those. And I've worked out that, yeah, I can do that by pushing it in. That gives me a little bit of control anyway as to where it lands. And then just up. When I start to get about there, I lift it up so that I can still see some background. Like so. Still not getting much gold in here. It's very grey. That's all right, let's leave that. Let's do the last one. I need some copper up this end, so I'll put the copper on top. Just going to be a little bit of paint on this one. Not very big, is it? Not as big as some. I'm not doing my ziggy-zaggy very well. It's a bit hard to do ziggy-zaggy when you've only got a little area to do. I'm just going to use this. Oh, actually, no, let me get the fresh one. Let's do it properly and get a fresh piece. It's not very big. It's not a very big area though. So I just have to have half of it hanging off the edge. Whoa, going off the side. It's a bit hard to control there, going, it wants to go off the side. Okay. Now this one, I'm still not loving this one. I'm just going to put a little bit more colour on this. This is the one that needs a little bit more. Actually, I probably need more copper down this end. That works too, you know, ziggy-zagging like that. All right, maybe I can leave that one as it is. Maybe I can just do here. Like so. What do you think? I think this one here could do with some more colour too. So while we're at it, let's just do that. Maybe not any more black. A little bit of white. A little bit of copper. I'll just use this one again. And let's see how that looks. Okay. Oh, look, there's a little blob there. That's going to bother me. I'm just going to have to fix that. What can I use? What can I use? Actually, this is where I'll just use my little tiny bit of card that I've still got cut from yesterday. I'm just going to pick up the very edge of that little white blob there, if I can. There we go, just to disguise it, because it was just a big white blob. So what do we think of that one? Let me grab the other one down for you, and you can, I'll get my gloves off. I'll take them off properly, I can use them again tomorrow. Okay, so that's that one. And yesterday's one, oh, let me grab it out. I guess they're similar. That one's got more background. So more background, the colours are brighter and it's kind of more wispy. Whereas that one's more blended. So you can see the difference. So do you like number one or number two? Or maybe none of them. All right, let me take you down for a close-up. Oh, try not to trip over wires. I've got wires here behind me. Okay. Actually, I haven't torched it yet. Let me just grab my torch. One-handed. Oh, settle down. Give it a quick torch. Pop bubbles. Oh, don't do that. Don't know that a lot has changed there. Let me just turn this off. You off? Yes. Okay. So got a few little cells up. They're not huge. If your mix was thinner, probably get a few more, but I wasn't after cells in this. I mean, I don't mind having them there. A little bit of interest. Let's go up this way. Pan up if I can. So this is another 30 by 60 centimeter canvas, which is a 12 by 24 inch. So yeah, what do you think of that one? Do you like it? Oh, turn the light off. Is that better? I did get rid of that other overhead light, so when I come around here, I don't have an overhead light above the painting. How's that, hey? Are you impressed? Got my husband actually take it out of the ceiling, take the globe out. So that's it there. Let me know which one you like. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. I've still got quite a lot of paint left over. You really don't use very much in this technique, so I can still do another one. But yeah, let me know which technique you prefer, and then I might do a bigger one in that. And throw in some of the lighter gold as well. I actually don't mind the bronze. Everything's kind of blended. You can't really say, oh, there's the bronze. It's just sort of all blended. But I think it's a really nice, pretty, subtle look. Okay, I'll leave it there. I've been yabbering on for half an hour. Oh my gosh, time for a coffee. All right, thanks again, guys. Thanks for your support. Bye for now.